I I saw this thing on YouTube, and it was, I don't remember what it's called. I can put a link if I really want to. And it was something like, Mike Margima's like journey overcoming whatever to get to the big leagues. And I was like, what's all this about? So I click on it. And I don't, it's been a little while since I watched it, so I won't remember. But basically, the gist of it was Mike Margima was this, like handsome, successful, athletic guy, like growing up, and he had an eating disorder. And I don't think he got into what it was exactly, like what the issue was in particular. But he basically got into like, I went to rehab. It was like really, really bad. Like I like ruined my body for a little while. And I think this was probably like his late teens, something like that. And he overcame this, got drafted, I guess, and then went through the minor leagues and ended up making it to the major leagues. So it's like a super inspirational story of like he overcame this. Awesome, great, great. I don't want to out this guy because I didn't talk to him about it, but somebody close to us has struggled with an eating disorder, and so I ended up sharing it with him, and he seems to have taken it to heart. So it kind of meant something to me. I thought it was really cool that Mike Margima was like being open about this. But I also thought the interesting thing was that Mike Margima was bringing attention to the fact that like plenty of men have eating disorders, and you think of it as, I think society thinks of it as sort of like a middle school girl problem of like, oh no, all the other girls think I'm fat, and in reality, like it's like anything else. Like anybody can have an eating disorder, anybody can have this issue. It's just a body image issue, like we all have.
Yeah, it's not like women get issued a different brain.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I don't want to out this guy, but the person that we know that has struggled with
You've already cut the probability in half. You've already partially dodged.
I mean, it's not anything their audience is going to know, but I just didn't think to ask. But anyway, so this person was telling me that they went away to this sort of inpatient rehab thing, and it was very helpful for them, and I'm really glad. But what he was telling me was he was like, I was the only guy there. It was all like high school, college age girls who like had an eating disorder because like like that's how it is in America. I guess a lot of people struggle.
Is this Mike Margarine or is this?
No, this is somebody close to me. I'm sort of talking weird because I'm dancing around it. But
yeah, like we have to speak in riddles.
Yeah, I should have talked to this guy before.
Let's call him Alfred.
Let's call him Alphonse.
Yeah.
So anyway, so this guy told me that he was like, and he was like, even the people in like the rehab were like, and this is anecdotal, because even the people there were like kind of like shocked that I was like open and honest about this, but also like trying to get help. Like it's sort of, he was like, men sort of have this like suck it up attitude about things, and that can make it even more difficult. So that's what, so I think that's like the thing that like Mike Margima is like sort of crusading against, and trying to like actually bring to light that a lot of guys have this issue. So anyway, I think that's really cool. Good on Mike Margima. Thank you for the great work you're doing. But anyway, that popped into my head the other day, and I was like, that's really cool. So I look at Mike Margima, and I think he's like a successful real estate agent now, and that's cool. And so I just fired off an email and was like, hey Mike, I just want to say thanks for everything you're doing. I know positively impacted this guy that I know, and so I appreciate that. And I really wasn't trying to like meet him with that, just like soften him up. I was being honest, and then I was like, hey, I have this baseball podcast. If you want, like that's a platform if you want, and if you want to come on like encouragement, that'd be great. And if not, I just want to say thank you. And he emailed me back. And he basically was like, I'm taking some time to myself. I'm not doing any interviews or anything. But I appreciate the kind words. And I was like, no sweat. I totally get that. Don't worry about it. So Mike Margima is not coming on the show, but he answered me. I thought that was really cool.
Wait.
What?
I can't get over the point of that story, all of that. And at the end, you're like, and you know what? He's not coming on the
Should I edit all this out?
No. That was like the highlight of the podcast. As always,
his name is Dan Uglo.
Dan Uglo. Dude, that was one of the greatest rug pulls ever.
No, I wasn't trying.
Dude, I was sitting here. I'm like, what am I going to ask this guy? Because it sounds like he's coming on the podcast.
No, you're totally right.
And you know what? He got back to me, and he said he's not coming on.
No, you're totally right. I didn't mean for I didn't mean for that to happen that
way. Damn it.
I got to go one kick it. You ready? Cook
Yeah.
It. You ready? Rico Bronya.
All right. Now,
you like that?
I will see your Rico Bronya, and I will raise you one Randy Choate. The spit take.
Yeah, that wasn't planned.
Woo!
That wasn't.
Whoa! Woo!
Randy Choate. What a name.
Anybody else you think people are sleeping on, or should we move on?
Well, hold on a second. We might move on, but let me think about the roster for a minute.
Okay. Yeah. I can read off some names if you want to have it pulled up.
Yeah, do that. Maybe it'll ring a bell.
Now, I apologize in advance. I don't speak Japanese, and I'm probably going to mispronounce a lot of these.
I'll be able to figure it out.
Sosuke Genda.
Sosuke Genda, okay.
Takuya Kai.
Takoyaki, all right.
Kensuke Kondo,
Kensuke Kondo, all right.
Shugo Maki.
Shugo Maki, all right.
I like that name. It rolls off the tongue. There's
I like
Murakami.
watching you be corrected every time you say a name.
Dude, yeah, I mean, me versus Japanese is just a terrible matchup. Yuhei Nakamura,
Nakamura, all right.
Takumu Nakano.
Takuma Nakano, all right.
Oh man,
He said it way better than you.
yeah. There's Newt Bar. There's Otani. Kazuma Okamoto.
Okamoto, all right.
Okay, Takumi Oshiro.
Oshiro, all right.
Ukyo Shudo. I'm sorry.
That's pretty close. Ukyo Shuto, yeah.
Oh wow, that was the one that I thought sounded the worst. I was ready to publish an apology. Sia Suzuki, Sia or Seiya?
Seiya.
Seiya, he's the guy that
Tetsuo
comes.
Yamada,
Who's that? Oh, Tetsuo Yamada, yeah.
Hotaka Yamakawa,
Hotaka Yamakawa, all right.
Masataka Yoshida.
Yes.
Okay. Then on the pitchers. Yeah, here we go. Ready? There's more. Oh wait, I recognize one of these names. I think Shota Imanaga.
Shota Imanaga, yeah.
Yuki Matsui.
Yuki Matsui.
Yeah, I nailed that one. That was an easy one. That's like the John Smith of Japanese names. Hiroya Miyagi.
Hiroya Miyagi, yeah.
Keiji Takahashi.
Perfect. Wow.
Look, I'm
Sounds like
getting
a name
better.
on that one.
I'm
Are
getting
you
better.
proud
I'm
of
nailing it. Now, this one's a little tough. Yu Darvish.
You nailed it.
Hiromi Ito.
Yes.
Oh, man, I'm on a hot streak. I'm going to screw this one up. Ryoji Kurabayashi.
Oh, Ryoji Kuribayashi.
Ryoji. So close.
And people are like, dude, I think he turned a corner, bud. It's all the same guys.
I'm that asshole that got the tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he's hitting homers off of guys that are practicing only throwing fastballs.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, did you also get a Ben Francisco tattoo after he hit like 6 home runs in April back in like 2009?
Yeah, Ben
Dude, I'm the guy-
Francisco. That's a good name.
I have a Cody Ashley shrine.
Oh.
Here, wait. So we're playing the game. Should we just hop into it?
Well,
just doing it.
do we want to get our predictions, or are we going to do that in a different part?
No,
Let's
yeah.
do that in a different
I
part.
like how
We're not here
Garrett
for
has
that.
mastered freezing handsomely.
Yeah, Garrett's got to open the store tomorrow. We can't waste his time tonight.
Screenshot. Okay, guys. Whoa.
Ah, there he is.
Garrett's just jumping around on the screen,
Dude, yeah,
guys.
look at his face. He's like,
Yeah,
that's
dude,
really good.
I
Garrett
look at
looks
his
like he just hit
face.
my girl for the cycle, dude.
That too. And you know what?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm just
How do we
saying.
feel about the DH, huh?
Love it.
Um,
Love
I
it.
do too.
yeah, I love that the Phillies were a factor in the playoffs because Bryce Harper got the DH. So I'm sold on it now.
Mm-hmm.
In years
The second it
past,
starts to benefit me,
yeah,
So,
I'm in.
hey, let's give Garrett a chance to yell at the clouds. Go ahead.
I think Garrett is Garrett's marble dog. He's immortalized. There he is.
Yeah,
Garrett's out here looking like Squidward's house.
I really. The only people arguing to keep it were like the people who were like, "Well, Cole Hamels hit a home run a couple years ago. That's always fun to see every once in a while." I was like,
Yeah.
You don't know how
who
many
cares about
times I've
that,
gotten in a
you know?
bar fight because Cliff Lee hit a home run.
Hey, I think Cliff Lee hit 2 home runs.
He did.
I like that this is a
Count 'em.
constant issue for Jim, though. Look, he's like, I got another bar fight over Cliff.
Yeah,
Lee.
he's like, you see these scars? That's from my
See these
2018
cuts on
bar
my
fights. Yeah. I don't have calluses from swinging. I got calluses from swinging, you know?
Yeah, Jim's like, my hands look like this. but
These
Garrett's
scars
like
are for people saying Placido Polanco's not an all-star.
I thought you were third base great Michael Young. How about that?
Oh,
All right. All
Michael
right.
Young's a good
Whoa.
Philly trade.
Whoa.
Speaking of things that went better for the Rangers than they did for the Phillies.
Yeah, really.
Let's keep that train going with a little bit of Delman Young.
Oh,
Oh,
good one, man. And all his legal troubles, or does that not count?
Oh, that counts.
Yeah, the
brother,
DUI.
brother, that's why we're talking.
He comes with
talking about things that get me out of bed in the
DUIs
morning.
and the anti-Semitism. Is that how that works?
All right, hold on. Sidebar. How about bullpen coach Mick Bullmeyer?
Dude, now we're doing like
Hole number
staff.
17, baby.
Didn't you meet him?
Ryan Howard at a game threw me an autographed baseball, and I thought it was signed by Ryan Howard. I looked down; it was signed by Mick Bullmeyer. I cursed God.
You looked down at him and you're like, you couldn't even give me Rich Doobie.
I know. I smoked a Rich Doobie after that stressed out day.
Come on, Ryan. All I wanted was hitting Coach Milt Thompson.
I know. No, honestly, if I could have picked any of the coaches, I'm looking for a little bit of Davy Lopes.
No.
Ryan, where's Sam Perlazzo when you need him?
Oh. You gotta get Phillies legend Pete McCannon.
The players like him because he's bilingual. That's every dad ever.
All right, Tom.
Wait, how much did that go for on eBay?
Well, milk.
I don't know. I'm sitting here in my Ryan
only.
I'm here in my Ryan Sandberg underwear, wondering like, what can I get for these things?
Yeah, well, hey, listen.
Yeah. Jim's like $0 or best offer.
Yeah,
yeah. It's like no low balls. I know what I got.
I don't think I'm taking him with Jeremy Heckelson, am I?
Heckelson. I like Heckelson though. That is appropriate.
Yeah, that is opening day starter, Jeremy Hellickson to you.
Yeah.
Oh, he froze handsome again.
Yeah, he really did. That's kind of impressive.
Dude, yeah,
How about
Garrett
this?
freezes like the stock photo in your wallet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How about this?
You gotta get like photo bucket, like the watermark over.
Yeah, Garrett's out here looking like an unused picture frame.
Yeah, Garrett's looking like a paint squad.
Right here in my back pocket, I got Jose Contreras.
Okay, I was going to say him.
Rule 5 pick, way too much playing time. All of those things also describe this guy, David Herndon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh,
David Herndon.
dude, you're not
Okay.
ready. You're not ready at all for my next one.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Garrett was
Go ahead,
probably
go ahead,
like-
Ethan. Go ahead, Ethan.
Garrett was probably like 3 years old when this guy was playing. How you guys feeling about Wes Helms?
Ooh.
You're an asshole. No way. I was going to say that. How do we feel about Michael Bourne?
Yeah,
All right. Okay, that's pretty good.
Michael Bourne's a classic.
Another post Phillies
Star.
star.
This is another name that we're never going to say. He was traded alongside Jeff Geary.
I was gonna say that next, dude. What is wrong with you? It's not
That was
your
the
turn.
package. That was the package for Lidge, right?
Yes.
Did I just jump the line? I snatched Jeff Geary.
Yeah,
right?
just-
How much more betrayal can I take?
That's like the fattest version of Knockout on Earth.
Jeff Geary. Yeah.
Now I have to think of someone else.
Who would have ever thought two grown men would come to blows over Jeff Geary?
Bro, you've never been to the Ridley fucking Barnaby Zen.
Yeah, you never been to Xfinity Live in a crazy night.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Never in a million years would I have thought you would have come up with Jeff Geary.
I can't believe I just got backstabbed like that. Garrett handsome frozen again. There he is.
Wow. I hate to throw a wet blanket on this flame, but I got Antonio Bastardo.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony No Dad.
Tony No Dad.
Yeah. Antonio Bastardo was certainly the most caked up MLB player to ever live.
Yeah.
That's true.
He's
Dude, unequivocally true.
unequivocally caked.
All right.
He actually filed a trademark for nothing but cakes, but he got beat out.
All right. I heard you guys had a bad case of not enough left-handed pitching, but I got your medicine for you in Joe Savory.
I mean, pitching in quotes, but yeah.
Yeah.
pitching. Pitching.
Yeah, I wake up with a dose of him every morning.
Yeah, I know you like to keep it sweet, but I got something for you.
Yeah, how you feel about a little savory with your breakfast?
I would pour Joe Savory over toast. I'll say that. I'll say that. Can I say that?
No! No!
That's Ethan's second spit take on this podcast.
No, I didn't spit. I kept it together.
Come on, dude. Really? You're not going to do it for the theatrics?
All right, wait a minute. Joe Savory's good, but he's no Randy Choate. Come on.
Loved when they would do the McDonald's home run thing, and it would come up, and it would be like 2007 Carlos Ruiz, and they're like, "You'll win a Phillies prize pack," because he just grounds into a double play, and
Yeah, you have no idea what memories you just conjured up. When you
Phillies
phrase,
prize pack.
Phillies prize.
dude,
That was always like, I love that when it would be like,
That's what I say when I'm getting naked in front of somebody. I'm like, "You ready for your Phillies prize pack?"
that was always like, it would be like a trivia question. It'd be like, which relief pitcher born in the month of May with the initials KS started 2 games in the 1984 season? Submit your answer on Phillies.com.
Somehow the answer's Tim Hudson every time.
Every answer was Kent Tekulve.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's give it up for Karen K in Mount Airy.
You win a Phillies prize pack courtesy of AT&T.
Yeah, we got to find somebody who won one time just to find out what was in the Phillies prize pack.
Yeah, bring
you
them
know,
on.
I wasn't winning one. I don't live in Mount Airy.
It's Tasty Cakes, dude.
Nothing goes better with Phillies
Yeah.
baseball than a tasty
No,
cake.
it's definitely it was a pack of butterscotch crimpets and then like one of those paper pennants that you used to get at like Minoa School.
Yeah, signed by like Vince Papali.
No, it's signed by the worst
anything signed
possible
by Vince
Philly.
Papali.
It's signed by the Fanatic. It's like a janitor.
Dude, I ran into Vince Papali. I ran into Vince Papali on an Insomnia cookies one time, and I had nothing for him to sign, so I had him sign my cookie.
Like, what?
Wait, could you formulate words, or were you like, Mark Wahlberg?
I was like, I shoved the cookie in his face, and I was like, "Invincible."
Yeah, you looked at him. We're like, "You're Elizabeth Banks." I don't even know whose turn it is.
I imagine the Phillies prize pack was that baseball that Jimbo got from Ryan Howard that was not signed by Ryan.
Yeah.
That was it had somebody's signature printed on it.
I'm pretending like I didn't like it, but I was 10 years old, dude. I was fucking like making out with that thing.
Yeah, every Phillies prize pack comes complete with a Mick Billmeyer signed ball.
You saying that you were 10, you're 11. That don't act like you're not jacking off to it right now.
Yeah,
Well,
brother.
yeah,
Like, who do you think? I'm like, who do you think?
Jim's like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Isn't that right, Mick?
Yeah. So
it's like,
you think in the Phillies prize pack you got like a mini Charlie Manuel like bobblehead?
No,
you get a piece of game chewed gum.
Yeah, you know what it is? A Charlie Manuel bobble gut.
Yeah. Oh,
A
okay,
bobble gut would be so funny.
that's worth money. All right, I'm gonna do Phillies relief ace, God of the mound, Danny Baez.
God of the mound.
No, I can't. I don't want to double up because the other guy I had in mind I used like 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna.
Well, that's
I'm gonna pass on it.
I'll give you a minute
Keep going.
because I got Chase Darno.
Whoa, he was a Philly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2015.
You could persuade me that he never existed. It wouldn't even be that hard.
No, it's like Lance Nix. Like you could just replace him with somebody else, and history wouldn't change.
Yeah, if you subbed
you
in
guys
a
ready?
cardboard
Are you guys
cutout,
ready?
everything would be the same. I'm ready. But wait, it's Garrett's turn. It's Garrett's turn.
It's Garrett's turn. Dude, look
Garrett's
at it.
frozen solid again. How is every time Garrett's screen freezes, it's just like it's a LinkedIn headshot?
I have one particular thing I want to ask you about, Ben.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing about it already. We were watching a compilation of Phillies walk-offs, and there's one from like, I don't know, 2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, of a really young Marlon Byrd crushing a walk-off homer in the vet, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one.
And he comes to home plate. And he jumps on home plate. He's excited. He just walked it off. He won the game. It was great. Jim Thome greets him, Nick Punto, all those guys. And Todd Pratt comes in and just gives him like 3 shots, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, what was that? Like,
I don't know.
We were watching it, ourselves laughing for like 25 minutes. And Tom described it perfectly. He was like, "What is this Todd Pratt bloodlust that we're watching?"
Yeah, I was like, why is he just on him?
Like, do you have any context behind this?
No, well, I think there's just like a baseball culture of someone, hits a walk-off and you beat the piss out of him. Like, you remember Michael Franco, like, for a few years ago, whenever he'd hit a walk-off, he'd, like, run out to the outfield to get away from everyone because they'd all, not quite Todd Pratt, but, like, they'd be wailing on him.
Well, yeah, that was the
wildest thing I've ever
was
seen.
like, usually, yeah, when somebody hits a walk-off, when they do something great like that, obviously you're allowed to just beat the hell out of them for some reason.
You just inflict physical harm.
Yeah, like, usually they're like, they rip his jersey off, they push him around and stuff. This is like, he touches home plate and Todd Pratt just hits him with like 3 quick shots to the kidney, and then all the other guys like pulled him off like he was trying to start a brawl. I was like,
dude, it was the
2003, man. It was a different time. It was a different era.
The craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. MLB The Show is fantastic. I love playing it, and as we spoke about with Kenny 2 episodes ago. This year's game is great, and it's fixed a lot of the problems people had with 2022, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been very enjoyable, and they have World Baseball Classic stuff and Negro League stuff, and it's awesome. And one of the things, MLB The Show a lot of times is behind the curve when it comes to video games and sports video games in particular, because Madden and NBA 2K are these massive money machines, and they have these huge studios doing them, and MLB does not have that. They have maybe 50 guys working on it, and they don't have the same kind of budget, I guess, for lack of a better term, and manpower. And so one of the things that they put in for this year's game, which has been in NBA since like 2015 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember you doing this I did it in NBA a long time ago.
But they just put this in, and it's cool. They put in a face scan feature. And basically what you do is it's kind of, remember the iToy, Tom, from PlayStation?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, where you could take a picture of yourself and you put it on your guy and it looks like it. Because nobody really wants to sit through like all the options of like nose depth, ear point. Like, nobody cares.
I'm sure somebody for everyone.
But they sort of just roll with like the generic like looking player most of the time. I think most people do. But now you can face scan, you can play as yourself. It's really cool. It's great. Here's the difference.
Joe Random.
Here's the difference, and I'm only speaking out of my own opinion or my own experiences. I mean,
okay.
When I played NBA, I think it was 2K15 that I faced my game, maybe 2K17, something like that. And what I did was I downloaded the app and it said, "Okay, go to the face scan feature." I went to the face scan feature, and it had you do. Like, it had you put your phone here, and then you moved all the way around, and you moved this way, and then you moved up, and you moved down, and it took pictures of your like entire head, basically. Put that in the game, and it generated a head for you, so it would look like you, and it looked pretty good. Like, it
you know what they don't want you to? They don't want you just putting the most flattering angle in there. They're like, no, we need them all.
But it's also like that's how it's realistic. That's how they get like your cheekbones and like the structure of your head and everything. And it's pretty good, and it looked like me, and it was unfortunately for this character, it looked like me, and it was great.
Right.
MLB, on the other hand, has you just take a picture head on, and you just do this, and you line your face up in the little outline, and then you take your picture, and that's it. And it's like, you don't smile.
That face.
Yeah, it's like, don't smile, don't wear jewelry. So you're just sitting there like, and then you take your picture, and it's great.
It's
and
like
here's
getting your driver's license picture.
Exactly. I'll put up a couple of pictures. So when it first showed up, it was just a bald head, and it was really like freaky because it didn't have any facial hair, it didn't have any, hair.
No, wait.
The head shape is different.
Quick interjection. This thing nailed his mustache. It absolutely nailed it. The rest of it looked like a cave troll from Lord of the Rings, because it was Ethan, but just shaved.
It was wild. But so I'll put up that picture, and it was kind of weird, and it looked like a bowling ball, and it was strange. And then I added the hair, and they had a hair that's pretty close to mine, and I put that in and everything, and I put in like some stubble, and I was like, okay, we're getting there. And I sat down, my wife sat here, and I was like, okay, what do you think of the nose? Do I put it in a little, whatever? And we kind of worked on it for like 15, 20 minutes, and we got pretty close. And so from the head on, I'll put up a picture of the head on angle, and you can see it, and you're like, oh, okay, that looks like you. It's pretty close. Like, whatever, that's cool. They face scan. And then there's a profile, Yeah. You can change it that way. It's me. It looks exactly like me. It's wild.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I was on the phone with him while he was doing this, right? And he's sitting there, and they're going through it, and his wife is like, "No, the bridge of your nose, you got to send it in more." And then all of a sudden, he just goes, "Oh, it looks like me." I hate it.
Dude, it's true. It looks, and especially like the profile, like this. It looks exactly like me. It's horrifying. And like, I'm not attractive. That's why it's so horrifying. And I guess the other thing about it too is like when you put in your generic player, it makes him like, I don't know, like 6 foot, 6'2", something like that. Like baseball players are pretty big. And like 210 pounds, 200 pounds, 190 pounds, something like that.
Right. It gives
like
him an athletic build.
A big athletic guy. And then you can select different body types. So there's like buff, normal, husky, which is a guy a little chubby, and there's fat. And so I always would just go with the generic guy.
That's for your Bartolo Colon types.
Right. I always would just go with the generic guy. So it would be like buff, 6'2", 185 pounds, whatever. There's just a big strapping guy and whatever.
Right,
cool.
like you.
And so I put in this thing, and this thing's me. And it looked exactly like me. Put on this really athletic body. And I was like, well, that can't do. Like, that's not how that works.
Yeah, that's
so
not
I made
realistic.
it 5'10", which I'm like 5'9"3/4. So I made it 5'10".
How do you know your height that precisely?
The doctor told me that pretty recently. But so,
dude, that's like that's like no. I'm not 6 feet. I'm 5'11" and 3/4. So I just rounded up for Tinder purposes.
Like every guy, I'm proud of the extra inch. But
true.
Yeah. But so I go down and I make him like 5'10", and he's a little shorter, and I'm like, okay, that looks better. And then I go to the weight, and it's like 195 or whatever, and I'm like, well, that's not me.
And you're like,
so it's a slider. So I just go, you don't type it in, you just move the slider up. So I just go and go and go and go and go, and it gets up to like 240 something pounds, and then it resets and it goes all the way down to like 160. Like that's the highest you can go. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm only 240 pounds.
Wait. Now, how are you going to do Bartolo Colon if you can only go up to 240?
I guess the game developers can change things. I don't know. But anyway, so he's like 5'9", 5'10", and like 240 with obviously the fat build. And so it's just this sort of like kind of looking guy. I'll put up a picture of the full body. And it's pathetic because it looks like me. Like, that's the worst part. Like, that's like, and here's the only other thing, because I was talking to my wife and I was like, what do you think? Like, do I need to take the arms in? Do I need to change like the spine length? And she was like, I don't know. Who cares? And then I like turned him around and she went, oh, wait a minute. Your butt is flat. And I was like, what? And she goes, that guy has like a regular butt. Your butt has to be completely flat.
Yeah, you need to have the shelf. You need to have a
exactly.
washboard.
Like my butt is just completely flat.
You don't have washboard abs. You have washboard butt.
Washboard butt. And so this guy is me. And then so I put him in the game and I start my road to the show. Right. And it has, and like, you play as a baseball player, so 90% of the time he's in a baseball uniform. But in the beginning of your road to the show, he like gets drafted and he's on the phone with the GM and everything, and he's in a suit, and it's this fat guy like talking to the GM, and it's me, dude. Like, I have these wedding pictures of me in a gray suit like that, and my gut's just hanging out, and I'm like, like, dude, it's pathetic. Can I give it another name while we're waiting for Colin?
Yeah, should we go to overtime?
Oh. What do you think of Neil Kotz?
Oh. Now, where do we stand on Jerry Owens?
Oh, Jerry Owens might be the best one. Jerry Owens is the best White Sox.
Well, no, Colin hasn't said anything yet.
Good point. Colin
Give the man a chance.
Colin
I don't know how well this will do, but how about Wes Whistler?
Dude, I don't know who Wes Whistler is. I want to look this guy up. I'm putting the over-under on number of games this guy played at, like, 6.
Wes Whistler?
Yeah, he was in the 2009 White Sox roster.
Dude,
Okay,
no.
let's see. Let's see how many innings this dude threw. For 1.1 inning.
In that season or for his career?
For his career and in that season.
I love this guy.
Wes Whistler.
I've never heard of that person before in my life.
Dude, I don't even think White Sox fans remember that guy.
No, not at all. All right, is it my turn?
That was an incredibly deep cut. That was all the way to the bone. That was all the way to the marrow.
All right, Colin, what do you got?
Yeah, Colin, give us a team.
All right, give me 1 second. Which team again?
No.
It's
You
making new.
Your pick.
You just give
Oh,
a
okay.
player.
All right, let's do Cardinals. Gene Stechschlut.
Who?
Who is that?
Bean Stechschlut?
Gene Stechschlut.
No idea.
Is that guy from like 1870? Like,
I don't know.
I want to know more about old Gene.
I don't even know how to
I will
begin to spell
do
that.
Like, how do I even look that up?
Step. Is it Step?
It's very.
S-T-E-P?
It's very German sounding. Hold on.
Well, found him. Okay.
Give me.
He played from 2000 to 2002, and he was terrible.
Since John's the guest of honor, let's let him set the parameters. You want to do a certain time period, a certain team, or do you want to just do a free for all? Any football players we can think of.
I say free for all. Now,
Thank God. Thank God.
You're welcome, Tom.
Dude, if we were doing like teams, it was going to be like, okay, let's do the Buccaneers, and it's going to be like, all right, I lose.
Like I said, for the past couple of weeks, I've been telling Ethan, I am taking a lot of pride in this list I made for this game and there is between two players that this game is named after.
I like how Garrett has mastered freezing handsomely.
All right, Garrett, give me a name.
Let's just give it one time. If anyone's played fantasy sports once, they all know how good this player was. Let's just give it up for the 49ers defense and special teams.
yeah. And we're going to play some Elmer Descends, man.
Should we kick off a round of Elmer Descends?
For a round of Elmer Descends. The opening winner of the random MLB player game was Elmer Descends.
We have a game we like to play called Elmer Descends, where we name random baseball players, and the most random player wins.
You said Elmer?
Elmer Descends.
Yeah, he was my rookie league pitching coach.
Was he?
No.
Yeah.
Donovan, you've been very nice. You've given me more than I'm worth.
No!
If you can put me in touch with Elmer Descends, I will pay you whatever amount of money you want.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Unless I'm getting like his last name very mixed up with somebody else, but
He was like a big leaguer with
he's
the
a Latin
Rockies.
guy, right?
Yeah, he was
Well,
a
Elmer
Mexican
Descends
guy.
was on the Reds for a while, so it's not like that
he,
shocking.
You know Elmer Descends?
He was on Team Mexico. He was their pitching coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
whatever it takes, get me on a Zoom call with Elmer Descends.
No, it was he. Yeah, every day during rookie ball, like he'd show up there and he's like, "Okay, guys, today we play the Dodgers. They can run, they can hit. All right, let's go get them." And you're just like, "All right, Elmer, let's go."
Yeah.
I actually managed to. I unintentionally deceived him into thinking that I was a diehard Mariners.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
I didn't want to like argue with him on the podcast. I was just wearing Mariners stuff because I like it, and I do like the Mariners, but at the end of the day, obviously, I'm more of a Castellanosian fan.
Well, but think about it though. Like, if you're some guy who works in baseball, and these two idiots hit you up and are like, "Hey, you want to come on our show?" Sure, yeah, no problem. You're not gonna go back and listen to all their other episodes and be like, "Oh, wow, they must be Phillies fans."
Maybe you're not.
But
maybe you're not. Well, wait, he knew you were a Phillies fan.
Yeah, because I had told him in our emails that I was in Philadelphia.
So I think you assume. But if he just hops on and sees some dude wearing Mariners stuff, then he just assumes you're Mariners fan. And God bless Eric too, because he kept referring back to that and being like, yeah, these ABL players are really like Jake Fraley, Mariners guy for you.
Over like Jake Fraley, like Mariners guy, right? Like how good was Jake Fraley? Now he's in Cincinnati and obviously doing his thing there. And Tristan Gray just got a
Ryan Roland Smith.
Well, and you're
he's on the Mariners broadcasting team.
No, it's such an Aussie name.
An Aussie commentator, Tom, right? With the Mariners, you get to hear Ryan Roland Smith if you're tuning in locally.
Ooh, yeah, our boy Ryan Roland Smith.
I really like that you're sitting there like, yeah, he was Mariner, yeah.
Dude, I felt so bad because I wasn't like intentionally deceiving him, but that was like kind of how it
No, it's just not worth getting it. Like, what's the point in being like, actually,
Yeah.
I'm not a Mariners fan?
Yeah,
I'm
a Phillies fan.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, no. Thank you, Eric, for putting up with us.
for those of you who follow me on Facebook, which I'm assuming is nobody,
Yeah.
I've been having a very public reckoning with my past self. Because I keep getting, it'll be like, you have a memory from today in like 2010. And I've just posted the most cringe stuff of all time.
What's the
back
most
in like
cringe?
2010.
Give me the most cringe.
You know what? Let's go to the tapes. That's kind of all I have posted on Facebook right now. So the most recent one, this is from yesterday. Okay. And this is a memory from September 22nd, 2010. I posted, you might have just realized it, or maybe you haven't yet, but it's been that way for a long, long time.
What does that even mean?
You know what that means? You know what that means?
Give me another one. That wasn't funny. Give me another one.
Yeah, that one, that's just a little palate, cleanser, because that one's just nonsense. It's like,
yeah, that's not really cringe. It's just stupid.
Okay. This is a good one. This is from the day before that.
So you were on a roll.
Yeah, I was on a real tear.
Also, wait, 2010, you were like 18 years old.
Right? I would have been 17.
But my point is, you weren't like a little, because like I think of like when I got a Facebook, I was like 11.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
like
but
you were like
when you're 11, you post different cringe. You don't post
right, like you were like pretty much an adult when you were behaving this way.
Well, I would say it's debatable whether or not a 17-year-old is basically an adult. now that I'm 30, I look at 17-year-olds. I'm like, yeah, you're still a kid. But so this is the best one. I might build a bridge, but be warned. Too many infractions, and I got the dynamite prepped. Why did I post this stuff?
Also, like,
what was wrong with me?
Was something going on in your life that, like,
I don't remember,
like, led you to this, or were you just like, because that screams to me like, don't cross me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like what it means.
Like that screams to me like I'm happy to be your friend, but you don't want me to be your enemy.
Yeah, but don't be my enemy.
And you're this like 17-year-old nerd, like you
yeah.
in the museum. You know what
I mean? And then this wasn't really started I'm officially cancel culturing my former self. Okay, this is the worst one. It's been a long while, but now I'm back, and you better be ready because I'm about to lay down the law. Get ready for the quirkocracy. Why did I post this stuff now? Like, it's so bad. It really is like
quirkocracy.
The quirkocracy. And you know what you have to say to that? You have to say, take it easy. That's it. That was, you know what? That was also 2010. September 2010 was a weird month for me. Woo, that was not good.
Stupidest thing you've ever said. Oh. Read it again.
Okay, hold on. All right. I was seeing if I posted any other ones, which I didn't.
No,
let's see where is it.
We're not topping that.
That was what I said. That was what started my cancel culture with myself. Like, I want you guys to know, I will be leaving the podcast over this.
I'm in tears. Read it again.
All right, ready for that? I think I had like 8 Facebook friends at the time too. Like,
well, 5 after this.
After this,
all right.
Wait, it's gonna go down. I'm gonna lose 800 something Facebook friends.
Read it again. Read
okay.
It again.
It's been a long while, but now I'm back. Back is in all caps, by the way. And you better be ready because I'm about to lay down the law. Get ready for ... New line. The Quirkocracy.
No, look at the time. Like, did you have an idea of like what you wanted the Quirkocracy to be? Like, were you like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this?
Dude, I don't know. I didn't have a constitution drafted.
Or was this just you going, you know, it would sound cool?
Yeah, it's sort of like a technocracy, except I'm in charge.
Yeah, it's an autocracy with Quirk at the top.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I'm sure it's still wrong with me. It just was more manifest in 2010.
Oh my goodness, dude. The Quirkocracy.
I want you to know.
Have I ever laughed that hard on the podcast?
Yeah, you laughed that hard over Randy Choate.
I don't want to see Jake Cave ever again.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Hey, Jake Cave only doesn't have a home run the other day because he got robbed.
I don't want to see Jake Cave ever again. I don't want to see Jake Cave.
And that was the case. Like, I don't want to see Jake Cave ever. Exactly. Like, you and I were sitting there on the sofa watching this game and being like,
I don't want to see
I feel like I
Jake
pinch
Cave
hit Jake
ever
Cave
again.
here. But like, it's the Jake Cave effect. We're like,
I don't want to see Jake Cave ever again. I don't want to see Jake Cave ever again. I don't want to see Jake Cave ever again.